In this video, I'm going to show you how you find the equation of a line. So there's two ways you can find the equation of a line. One way is to go right to slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, where m's the slope and b is the y-intercept. And the other way is to put the equation into point-slope form. Now you have to know point-slope form, especially by the time you get to calculus. This is the main one that you'll end up using. But it's also nice to know how to get directly to slope-intercept form using y equals mx plus b. Now we always have the option to put an equation into point-slope form and just solve for y if the question asks for the equation in slope-intercept form. So I'm going to show you how to do it both ways. So the first question wants it in slope-intercept form when m equals 2 and that the line goes through the point negative 3, 6. Now every problem you do will always boil down to you have a slope and a point. What changes from problem to problem is how you find the slope. So if we're going to do point slope form, I want to fill in m, x1, and y1. And we can see we have that here. Here's m, x1, and y1. So I'm going to do y minus the y coordinate, so y minus positive 6 equals m2 times x minus negative 3. Now minus a negative, that's going to end up being a plus. Now because this wants it in slope-intercept form, what I'm going to do is just get y by itself. I'm going to distribute the 2, and I get 2x plus 6 on this side. And I'm just going to add 6 to both sides. And now it's in slope-intercept form. I also have the option to go directly to slope-intercept form. And how I'm going to do that is that, well, I already have m, and I just need to figure out b. So I'm going to fill in m, and I'm going to take the x and y from this point and fill in the x and the y so I can solve for b. So I'll get 6 equals 2 times negative 3 plus b. Multiply that together, I get negative 6. Oh, these all look like b's. Plus b. Then I'm going to add 6 to both sides and get b equals 12. So now I have b. I already have m, so now I can just fill those in, and it's y equals 2x plus 12. Now it goes to show you it doesn't matter which way you do it because you'll end up with the same equation. Now number 2 here, we have to put it into point slope form, so we can't even think about doing it the second way I did it over here because it wants it in point slope form. So we got our slope and a point, so it's going to be y minus the y coordinate of the point, so minus negative 1, but that's going to become a plus, equals the slope, negative 2/3, times x minus the x coordinate. And that's it for point slope form. It wants us to leave it like that. We also, if it asked us to put it into slope-intercept form, we could distribute and move the 1 over to the other side. So this plus, so y plus 1 equals negative 2/3 times x minus 4. On number 3, again, it wants it in slope-intercept form. But this time we don't have the slope. So like I said earlier, all that changes from problem to problem is how I find the slope. So I have 2 points, so I'm going to use the slope formula. So I'm going to do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I'll get 9 over negative 6, and that reduces to negative 3 over 2. So now I actually have the option to use either point from here. I can use 4, 6 or negative 2, 15. Now I'm going to choose 4, 6 just because I would prefer to deal with a positive x and y. So I'll show you both ways to do it again. On the right I'll do point slope form. So it's going to be y. Now I'm going to decide to use this point. You could have used that point. Y minus 6 equals the slope, negative 3 over 2, times x minus the x coordinate, minus 4. And now I'm going to distribute. Scroll down a little bit here. And I'm going to get y minus 6 equals negative 3 over 2x. Now negative 3 over 2 times negative 4, it's going to be a positive. Think about it, it's going to be 12 over 2, which is 6. And then I'm going to add 6 to both sides and get y equals negative 3 over 2x plus 12. So let's go directly to slope-intercept form this time. So I have my point. Again, I'm going to use 4, 6 because it's easier. My slope. So I'll fill in y, I'll fill in m, and I'll fill in x. Negative 3 halves times 4 is negative 6. And I'm going to add 6 to both sides, and I get b equals 12. And then I'll just fill in my slope and my y-intercept. One more problem. Number 4 here, it wants it in point-slope form, so we have no choice but to use point-slope form. So again, the only thing I need here is my slope. I don't have the slopes yet, so I'm going to do my slope formula. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So minus a negative here, I'm going to get a plus. So I get negative 6 over negative 1, which is positive 6. And now I can choose either point. Now, like I said, I'd like to avoid negatives, so this negative 4, negative 5 isn't my favorite point, so I think I'll go with the first point just because one of the coordinates is positive. So y minus y1, so y minus 1 equals the slope 6 times x minus x1. So x minus negative 3, which is going to become a plus, and there it is in point slope form. So it's a quick look of how you find the equation of a line.